My dear one, I'm writing to you from the other side of a day that broke me. Not shattered me into 1,000 pieces, but broke me in the way a wave breaks, crashing against the shore, dissolving into foam, becoming something different than what it was before. Maybe you're having one of those days right now. Maybe you woke up this morning and the weight was already there, pressing down on your chest before you even opened your eyes. Maybe you've been holding it together, holding it together, holding it together, and today is the day your hands finally trembled and let go. Maybe nothing catastrophic happened. Maybe there was no single moment you could point to and say, there, that's when it broke me. Maybe it was just the accumulation of everything. The small disappointments piling up like snow, the tiny heartbreaks adding their weight, the endless trying finally becoming too much. Or maybe something did happen. Maybe you got news that rearranged your understanding of the world. Maybe you lost something you can't get back. Maybe you said goodbye to someone you weren't ready to release. Maybe you failed at something that mattered. Maybe you were betrayed, overlooked, left behind. Whatever brought you to this breaking point, I want you to know you are not alone. And there is no shame in breaking. None at all.
The world doesn't teach us how to break well, does it? We're taught to be strong, to be resilient, to bounce back. We're taught that breaking is something to avoid at all costs, something to hide if it happens, something to rush through and get past as quickly as possible. But here's what I've learned. Breaking isn't the opposite of strength. Sometimes breaking is what strength looks like when it's been asked to carry too much for too long. Think of it like this. A tree in a storm doesn't fail when its branches snap. It's not weak because it couldn't withstand winds that would level buildings. The breaking is just what happens when something living meets something larger than itself. And often, in the spring, new growth comes from exactly where the break occurred. You are not failing by breaking. You are not weak. You are not less than. You are human, and you have met something larger than yourself. And your breaking is just proof that you felt it, that you carried it as far as you could, that you tried.
I wish I could tell you that the breaking will be brief, that tomorrow you'll wake up whole again, that this is just a small interruption in your regularly scheduled life. But I won't lie to you. Some days that break us linger. They echo. They change us in ways we can't immediately see. The truth is, you might not feel okay tomorrow, or the day after. You might carry this for a while, this tender, broken place inside you. And that's okay. That's allowed. Healing doesn't run on anyone's timeline but its own. But here's what I can tell you. You will not stay broken in the same way forever. The acute pain of this moment, this specific knife-sharp ache, it will soften. It will change. It will become something you can hold instead of something that holds you. Right now, though, you don't need to think about healing. You don't need to think about silver linings or lessons learned or how this will make you stronger someday. Right now, you just need to be broken. You just need to let yourself feel the full weight of whatever this is, without rushing to fix it or reframe it or make it mean something beautiful. Some things break us, and they should, because some things are worth breaking over. I want to tell you something about the days that break us. They have a way of stripping everything down to the essentials. All the things you thought mattered, the image you were maintaining, the role you were playing, the person you thought you had to be, they fall away. And what's left is just you, raw and real, very vulnerable. There's something sacred in that, even though it doesn't feel that way. It feels like everything you've built is crumbling. It feels like failing. But maybe, and I'm saying this gently because I know how it sounds when you're in the middle of breaking, maybe this is also a kind of breaking open. Maybe the shell you've been living in, the armor you've been wearing, the walls you've built to keep yourself safe, maybe they needed to crack so that what's real and true and alive inside you could finally breathe. I'm not saying the pain is good. I'm not saying you needed this. But I am saying that in the breaking, in the falling apart, in the moments when we have nothing left to hold up and nowhere left to hide, sometimes we find ourselves. The self we've been too busy, too defended, too scared to meet. Breaking is lonely, even when you're surrounded by people who love you, even when they're saying all the right things, doing all the right things. You're still alone in the actual experience of it. No one can break for you. And yet, you're not as alone as you feel. There are others who have stood where you're standing. Others who have had days that broke them. Others who wondered if they'd ever feel whole again. And they're still here. They survived their breaking. They learned how to gather their pieces. They learned how to live with the cracks. I'm one of them. I've had my days. Days when I didn't think I could take one more breath. Days when the world felt too sharp, too heavy, too much. Days when I broke in ways I didn't know I could break. And here I am, not unchanged, but here, still breathing, still moving forward, still finding moments of light in the midst of all this beautiful, terrible, breaking and mending that is a human life. You'll be here too, on the other side of this day. Let me tell you what helped me in my breaking days, in the moments when I thought I might come completely undone. It wasn't the big gestures. It wasn't the people who tried to fix me or cheer me up or remind me of all the reasons I should feel grateful. It was the small, quiet things. The friend who sat with me without needing me to explain. The stranger who smiled at me in the grocery store when I was holding back tears in the cereal aisle. The feeling of water on my skin in the shower. The taste of something warm to drink. The way my dog looked at me with those eyes that didn't need me to be anything but me. It was letting myself stay in pajamas all day. It was crying in the car with the windows up and the music loud. It was writing terrible, melodramatic poetry that no one would ever see. It was rewatching the same comfort show for the 100th time because I needed something that wouldn't surprise me, wouldn't ask anything of me, would just be there like an old friend. It was lowering the bar, lowering it again, and then lowering it some more, until the only thing I had to do that day was just be. And some days, that was enough. Some days, that was everything. So here's what I want to ask of you, right now, in this breaking. Be kind with yourself. Kinder than you think you need to be, than you think you deserve, than the voice in your head that's telling you to pull yourself together, to be strong, to get over it. That voice doesn't know what you're carrying. That voice hasn't walked this particular path. That voice is trying to protect you by keeping you small, by keeping you moving, by not letting you feel the full depth of this pain. But you can't heal what you won't feel. You can't mend what you won't acknowledge is broken. So feel it. All of it. The sadness, the anger, the disappointment, the grief, the fear, the emptiness, the overwhelm. Let it move through you like weather. Don't judge it. Don't try to make it smaller than it is. Don't apologize for it. Just witness it. Just say, this is how I feel right now. This is what's true for me in this moment. And this moment won't last forever. But while it's here, I'm allowed to feel it. You know what else? You're allowed to not be okay. You're allowed to cancel plans. You're allowed to say, I can't, without explaining why. You're allowed to be a mess, to need more than you can give right now. You're allowed to be you, in all its complicated, imperfect, falling apart glory. And anyone who can't respect that, anyone who needs you to be fine, to be strong, to be over it, they're not your people right now. Your people are the ones who can sit with you in the rubble, who can hold your hand while you cry. The ones who can say, I don't know how to help, but I'm here and mean it. Let those people in, even when it's hard, even when you want to hide. Let someone witness your breaking. Because being seen in our pain is how we remember we're not alone. It's how we remember we're lovable, even in our most vulnerable state. I need you to hear this. The day that's breaking you right now, it's not the whole story. It's a chapter, a hard chapter, a chapter you wouldn't have written for yourself. But it's not the end. There will be other days. Days when you wake up and the weight isn't quite so heavy. Days when you laugh without thinking about whether you're allowed to. Days when something small and beautiful catches your attention and you realize you're still here, still capable of noticing beauty, still alive in ways that matter. The breaking doesn't erase those days. It doesn't cancel out every good thing that's ever happened to you or ever will happen. It's just one note in a much longer song. A minor key, yes. A sad and aching melody. But not the whole symphony. You contain joy and sorrow, strength and fragility, breaking and becoming. You are large enough to hold all of it, even when it doesn't feel that way. Here's something else I want you to know. What breaks us often cracks us open to deeper compassion. For ourselves, yes, but also for others. When you've been broken, you recognize the signs in other people. You know what it looks like when someone is barely holding on. And you can be for them what you needed in your breaking. You can be the gentle presence, the non-judgmental witness, the person who says, me too, when everyone else is saying, stay positive. Your breaking isn't wasted. It's not just destruction. It's also initiation. It's teaching you things about being that you couldn't learn any other way. It's making you softer in the places the world tries to make us hard. It's giving you a map to the underworld that you can use to guide others when their time comes. Someday, not today, not tomorrow, but someday, you'll use what you're learning now. You'll alchemize this pain into wisdom, this breaking into breakthrough, this ending into a beginning you can't yet imagine. But that's later. That's not your job right now. Right now, your only job is to breathe, to take this moment, and then the next one, and then the one after that. To be as gentle to yourself as you would be to a small child or a wounded animal. To remember that you're not broken because of this. You're breaking because you're alive. And alive things break. when they meet forces greater than themselves. The day will end. This feeling will shift. You will find your way through this, not by being strong or brave or positive, but by being honest, by being present with what is, by letting yourself be held, by friends, by strangers, by the earth itself, by whatever force in the universe can hold space for the broken. And tomorrow, or next week, or next month, you'll wake up and realize that you're still here. Cracked, maybe. Changed, definitely. But here. And that will be its own small miracle. That will be proof that you're more resilient than you knew. That breaking isn't the end of you. That you can survive even the days that feel impossible.
I'm not going to tell you it gets easier. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But I will tell you that you get better at it. You get better at being broken and whole at the same time. You get better at holding the both and of being a person, both devastated and okay, both shattered and somehow still standing, both profoundly changed and fundamentally still yourself. So here's to the days that break us, the ones that crack us open, the ones that teach us what we're made of and what we're capable of, the ones that hurt so much we think we might not make it, and then we do, and we're different than we were before. That's more than okay. That's living a real life, not a performed one. That's having the courage to feel everything, to break when breaking is the only honest response, to let the day undone you, knowing that undone is not the same as destroyed. You're going to be okay, my dear one. Not today, maybe, but someday. And until then, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to break. It's okay to be exactly where you are, feeling exactly what you're feeling, broken in exactly the way you're broken. I'm here with you, in spirit, in solidarity, in the knowing that comes from having been there myself. Break if you need to. Fall apart if you need to. Come undone if you need to. And know that on the other side, whenever you get there will be people waiting. People who understand. People who have been broken too. People who will help you gather your pieces and begin again. You are not alone. You are not beyond repair. You are not too broken to be loved. You are, even now, especially now, so very worthy of tenderness. With all my heart, someone who has known breaking too.